Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, Imperial Dane, and today I have for you a 1 versus 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, we'll be having a trip through Langres to sort of see what will be happening here. Langres, of course, rather sort of short map in terms of distance between the two bases, which also usually means that a medic station or medic bunker right here next to them will in fact be able to pick up most of the wounded across the map, which is not something all maps have. At the same time, we sort of have these two farm clusters right next to each munitions point, although one is slightly higher. But at the same time, it is easier to sort of flank about due to bocage, and there are buildings sort of keeping it covered. At the same time, those buildings can be cleared out, so makes for a slightly different approach. Same here, but at the same time, there's a lot more open terrain, and you can sort of sneak about, so all those things are to be kept in mind. Victory points, some not next to the bases, some quite in the center in a roundabout sort of manner. And fuel sort of nicely scattered. And who shall be fighting? Well, in the south it shall be Kiraye of the 4th Infantry Division, looking ready to fight for Uncle Sam, and it shall be our good old friend AirReloaded to fight for the fatherland right here in the north. As the, I don't know, let's just say, I don't know, 17th SS, yes indeed, that's a bit what can happen sometimes. You're a bit unclear, sort of trying to find a cast and then sort of you decide on one. Always get a lot of replays, can make it a bit difficult sometimes to decide on what to choose. Pioneers hitting the field, jolly good. Wehrmacht quarters going up. Barracks going up right down there in the south. Nice start right there, engineers heading westwards. And of course, for those again wondering about skins, they are on the YouTube channel page, you can find them there. So, no worries, remember me perhaps. Apparently they've already fought, I can't remember, have they? Gaga, yes indeed, that is our friend AirReloaded, aka Tommy Gaga. Points being secure, pioneers pushing onwards, engineers going each their own way. And Wehrmacht quarters going straight for the Panzergrenadiers. Barracks not quite the same, obviously. Going for riflemen. And what shall be happening? Panzergrenadiers hit the field. Nice motley collection of gear and equipment. Heading ahead for the fatherland. Pioneers also sort of keeping close. Always not a bad idea to sort of try and get perhaps from the early engagement some extra fighting power out of your engineers or pioneers. Can certainly turn the tide if used properly. Panzergrenadiers immediately laying down barbed wire, going to prevent any sort of frontal charges up here. Make it much harder for the opponent to move. Not a bad idea. Americans heading towards the east. Only one engineer team here in the west, while most of the Wehrmacht is in fact fully focusing on the east. MG42 team on the way, continuing to lay down the barbed wire, also to deny them a bit of cover. Engineers heading forwards. Panzergrenadiers opening up. Building here rather open. Engineers getting in could allow for the riflemen to get in fact, and get the drop right down there. Of course, can be a bit nasty. Panzergrenadiers and pioneers pulling away. And there we go, riflemen moving in. But MG42 is on the way as well. Panzergrenadiers holding the line. Riflemen going to move in, taking up position right there, and allow them to get some good shots on the Panzergrenadiers. But are they? What are they doing? No, they're charging instead. My goodness. MG42 though on the way. This could easily end up badly as a charge for the Americans. There we go, getting away, rather spotting it. Engineers getting suppressed by the MG42. Riflemen also getting away from there. Spotting on the minimap that something's going on here. Again, areas do flash up right there. Pioneers might come under fire. Panzergrenadiers with MG42 support still lingering right there. Riflemen taking positions up in the heavy cover, opening up there. Riflemen could flank about. Looks like Panzergrenadiers are doing so. Riflemen getting away there. And Panzergrenadiers are now taking up position in the building. Panzergrenadier team number 2 on the way. MG42 not really doing anything. What shall the American go for in this case? Shall he be going for BARs, or shall he be going for the M8 motor pool? That is sort of, or not M8 motor pool, but motor pool in general. That's of course just generally the question. Sometimes they might also go for the weapon support center. Can be good in digging out MG42s and other nasty business. But will he be going for that, or will he be going for something else? And riflemen pushing around here in the north. Currently still holding most of the territory, doing a bit of harassment. More wire from AirReloaded. Again, good usage right there. Engineers getting gunned down in the middle of the road. And oh dear, riflemen running straight into the arc of the MG42. Need to be careful. They could end up suppressed. In the meanwhile, riflemen trying to do a bit of harassment there, coming under fire. More riflemen pushing through here, avoiding the MG42, using the buildings as sort of cover from it. Volksgrenadiers in large number now engaging the riflemen right there who have stopped capping, but more riflemen moving in. Volksgrenadier down. Engineers cutting through the wire here. Sneaky, sneaky. Volksgrenadiers going down. Riflemen pushing through there. MG42 keeping the riflemen at bay in the south, while the others are dealing with the Volksgrenadiers in the north. Although they might want to move closer up, riflemen need to be up close again. The advantage against Volksgrenadiers, but no, they're moving up close. My goodness, that could actually end up very badly for the Volksgrenadiers. And BARs right there, increasing the firepower quite admirably, but
losing territory.
Only 3 rifleman teams. That's a bit low. Usually you see 4 rifleman teams when you go for BARs. Perhaps also a medic station would be nice. But certainly quite a bit of firepower there. MG42, oh dear, pointing in the wrong direction. Then again, there are riflemen there. And perhaps he's hoping to sort of push on the, keep on the pressure around here in the north, forcing the MG42 to point the other way, perhaps. No, bunker going up. Sniper on the way, nothing unusual there. Jaunty cap. Engineers and pioneers fighting in the west. Something else on the way from the barracks. Riflemen pulling away from the sniper, perhaps hoping to draw him in. Fuel point currently not in the hands of AirReloaded and the 17th SS. And the Volksgrenadiers certainly could relegate some of the newer replacements the division got, as in fact some of the troops were just gotten days before the whole thing commenced, which rather meant they hadn't gotten much training, and certainly not in larger terms. And rifleman caught outside. Sniper, though, in the building could get gunned down. Oh dear, will he? No. The sniper, no, he didn't survive. Volksgrenadier taking up position in the barn. Rifleman into a full retreat. Looks like all of the American riflemen are in a full retreat, but fresh ones have arrived. No supply yard going up to sort of help with manpower upkeep. Medic bunker up, nothing unusual there. Volksgrenadier pushing onwards, but certainly a bit of a nasty loss. Second MG42 on the way. Of course, he's seen the BARs. That, of course, usually means, well, your opponent is probably not going to be getting any mates anytime soon. So, of course, you can focus on dealing with all those BAR infantry. So, good choice there. Then again, getting the supply yard doesn't mean he's going to straight for it. Could just mean, of course, he wants to keep the manpower upkeep low, so he can get the most manpower in the long run. So, not a bad move. And looks like Mr. AirReloaded has gone for defensive. The 17th SS is pulling into a slight defensive move. Posture, and oh dear, Volksgrenadier charging across open ground with low health, getting gunned down. Oh dear, the BAR, quite an effective weapon. A light machine gun, a battle rifle as we're also called. Kind of an assault rifle, although quite here it seems to be just working mostly as one. You don't want to be charging right at those. Volksgrenadiers getting away, reinforcing. Medics pulling in the wounded. MG42 right up here, keeping things clear. Americans pushing through here in the west. Engineers with flamethrowers could be scorching the pioneers. There we go. But the pioneers are not quite yet on fire. Although that might not last long. No, instead the engineers are in fact forced away. Volksgrenadiers arriving. Fresh Volksgrenadiers. Fresh Ersatz SS Panzergrenadieren. It would seem the Americans are sort of not entirely sure what to do. And they are in fact going for a motor pool right away. Instead, it seems apparently they have managed to get quite a bit of fuel because, again, large amount of territory for quite some while, and the Wehrmacht is a bit more low on that in some ways. Also very quiet. No mines up for our American compadres. Nothing like that at all, which is a bit odd. You usually see something like that. That would certainly be a nice thing. Volksgrenadiers pushing onwards under the aegis of the MG42. Riflemen firing away with BARs. Could be something's going on here in the west as well. Quite a bit of MG42 power focus in the center east. While the west is rather open, could be a good move for the Americans to push through there. Medic station would be nice there. Volksgrenadiers coming under fire. And riflemen getting suppressed by the MG42 in the building. I rather suspect that buildings also in fact increase the range of your weaponry, although I'm not quite entirely sure of that. I haven't really found any sort of stats on that, but it's certainly a guess. And Rifleman getting gunned down in negative cover. Oh dear, the worst path to retreat through. Negative cover makes you easier to hit and make you take more damage. Again, very important thing to note. It's a good show there by the Volksgrenadiers. Managed up quite a few kills. No medic station for the Americans. Motor pool is up though. Trier Center as well. It seems to be a bit unsure of what to do. In fact, you have to be careful about just building a lot of buildings right away, as it is going to hurt your fighting efforts. But something is on the way from the motor pool. Volksgrenadiers forced away. An M8 or a T-17 could in fact do quite a bit of damage at this stage, since AirReloaded, aka Tommy Yaga, is only equipped with Volksgrenadiers. And while he does have skirmish phase, which of course gives him access to Panzergrenadiers, is still going to be able to do a bit of damage. But there we go, Krieg barracks up, but still M8 right away could still do some damage. Force AirReloaded to shorten his defensive lines. Bunkers have not been able to reform, and looks like he's going for the fuel point right here. And of course, one thing to note about Volksgrenadiers is once skirmish phase is reached, they actually take territory somewhat faster. Not quite as fast as Rifleman, but close. Medics getting gunned down. MG42 opening up. Volksgrenadiers counter-attacking. M8 charging ahead for Uncle Sam. Armored skirts already ready. In fact, always a good thing to have armored skirts. Makes your M8s that much stronger. And Volksgrenadiers charging. Oh dear, retreating right past the Rifleman. If the Rifleman decide to stand still, and one thing to note, weapons are a lot more inaccurate when on the move, in particular automatic weapons. In these cases, it's actually better to have your troops stand still, so they gain an accuracy bonus. That way they could in fact do some nasty damage to these rather shabby looking Volksgrenadiers with the rather different looking uniforms. And no, instead they keep moving and go straight for this strategic point, hoping to cut it off and cut off the Wehrmacht from all of this dastardly move. In fact, it's time to have a look at Kiraye, who's certainly doing something. Volksgrenadiers though are counter-attacking. Will he be able to run at this point neutral? At the very least. There we go. M8 though doing nothing, though looks like it's pushing through in the north, forcing the MG42 to pull away. And MG42 forced away there by flamethrower engineers. MG42's on the retreat. Volksgrenadiers keeping close to the medic bunker. Grenadiers have been reformed, ready to do a bit more sturdy fighting. M8 though seems a bit cautious. Pack 38 has arrived. At the same time, he ought to have figured with all these MG42s, Volksgrenadiers and a sniper, there's certainly going to be a bit of wild towards a Pack 38, and he seems to have he might have missed the moment where he actually could have done some damage. AirReloaded, in fact, laying down mines. Riflemen engineers firing away at this larger SS force from the 17th, pushing forward to Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers. Out in the open, no grenades. It seems quite a bit of munitions, in fact. Howitzers already prepared. And Panzergrenadiers ready. Grenades flung at the Riflemen, doing a bit of damage. M8 moving in. Artillery there would be nice. And Grenadiers getting scorched. And the M8 gets a good shot right there. 50 cal machine gun upgraded, hit by Panzergrenadiers. Pack 38 setting up to dominate the center field. Good show there. Americans pushing through here in the west. No mines though. Still no mines. Anti-tank gun on the way from the Americans. Not entirely sure that's what he wants, but again, he might be expecting sort of a Puma, because again, here's the thing though, I mean, he's seen as a medic bunker, so of course, any Grenadiers will probably from that, and that of course also means he's not sure if his opponent has gone for the Krieg barracks, or if he's gone further on and is going for the Sturm Armory to get some Pumas. Well, heavy armored cars, so basically deal with his armored cars, of course, is a very vital question, in which case, of course, he's going to need an anti-tank gun, and again, that's sort of the thing. It can be hard to sort of guess from your opponent what he has, because some things like medic bunkers again sort of allow you to get units that would otherwise normally require a Krieg barracks. So of course again he doesn't know there's a pack, and he of course needs to perhaps be ready for the Sturm Armory and of course whatever comes out of that, or perhaps even a Panzer Command. Rather than putting through Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers pulling back towards the bunker. Artillery going in, once more going for the strategic point. Very sneaky right there. And the MG42 taking hits from the artillery. Oh dear. We're trying to turn about. M8 taking a hit from the Pack 38, needs repairs. MG42 retreating. Rifleman firing away. Bunker almost ready to reconstitute another Grenadier team. There we go. Rifleman pushing through, attacking the Pack, but they're getting suppressed by the MG42 and a large force moving through here. Rifleman forced to retreat. Lots of German forces moving in. Quite a few grenadiers. That of course means he's using it. But again, our friend Mr. Kiraye has absolutely no idea. Anti-tank gun ready. A mortar would in fact be nice, since that could bombard the medic bunker plus the German positions in a nicely secure position. M8 getting repaired. What else is going on in the American base? No upgrades for the supply yard, though that could be nice. Oh, so very quiet. Quite a bit of infantry for the 17th SS. Rifleman taking up position right there. And BAR's blazing at all of these forces right down below it. Nice broadside there, but Grenadiers lobbing grenades. Kiraye does get out, but not quite in time to avoid anyone getting wounded. M8 firing away. Pack 38 opening up. M8 once more getting out of there. BAR's blazing once more, perhaps hoping to hit this MG42, which is the biggest boat, but another MG42 opens up on the building. Stop right there, but those chaps right there in the open could get knocked out, which could allow the Americans to push through here in the center. More riflemen are rhyming. Rangers would be nice in this situation, I think. Slightly tougher elite armor. Pack 38 in fact begins opening up on the building. German forces pushing through in the west now with lots of grenadiers due to partly the medic bunker. Forces pushing through in the center, flamethrowers and riflemen with BARs. Quite a bit of firepower. Some grenades would be nice though. Awesome suppressive fire. M8 getting ready here, and some other riflemen are ready as well. Nothing as yet. Fresh riflemen though, it looks like. 4 teams, no medic station as of yet. I'm not entirely liking that. And flanking the MG42 might be forcing it away. Yes, indeed. MG42 retreated. Wehrmacht forces holding up around here. Grenadiers charging through in negative cover, very bad, but pushing through in the west, good show. Riflemen moving in to re-secure. No upgrades from there. And apparently the riflemen are still coming. Riflemen up there under fire, forced to retreat. And what shall our friend, Mr. AirReloaded, go for? Besides apparently a Kampfkraft center. Apparently he's getting more infantry veteranry. Of course he has all those grenadiers, and Volksgrenadiers might as well take advantage of it. Of course, question is, what shall Kiraye do? Because he needs to do something that can actually push the advantage away from this. Either he needs to get a heavy machine gun to really suppress all of this infantry, perhaps a mortar, or he needs to get some armor. Volksgrenadiers getting burned alive, incinerated in the open for the fatherland. Of course, only affects troops in friendly Wehrmacht territory. A grenade could also be nice, in fact. Grenadiers getting inside the building, getting quite some nice advantage. And there we go, grenades being researched. Grenadiers in quite large numbers also securing here in the center. Quite a lot of grenadiers, actually. Seems a bit excessive. Riflemen firing away. MP40 equipped Volksgrenadiers charging ahead. M8 opening up. Oh dear, this is looking rather nasty. The American forces are in fact getting out infantry. And Volksgrenadiers shredded though, my goodness. AirReloaded, why are you sacrificing your Volksgrenadiers in such a careless manner? Yes, again, I know the SS had a tendency of being rather aggressive and overly eager, but still, you know, no reason to lose entire teams. Riflemen getting shredded in the open by the MG42 coming there, but perhaps he's hoping to get those grenades to lob at the Grenadiers. Engine is ready. M8 moving in to deal with the MG42, forcing it away. Heavy damage. Grenadiers still there. Grenadiers there. Riflemen counter-attacking. Veterans 2 giving them elite armor, making that much tougher. Against small arms, that is. Riflemen retreating. Flamethrower right there. Volksgrenadiers opening up on them, though they are in flamethrower range. Now they're getting out of there. Grenadiers holding the line very steadily. Supply and upgrade. Artillery going in. Oh, where? Right there on the bunker and the MG42. MG42 cleared out. Bunker taking a bit of damage. M8 moving in, opening up. Staying within the cover of the building. Again, that's a nice thing to do. Sort of, again, in these cases where your opponent has a pack here, of course, staying right behind a building is usually a pretty nice trick. And of course, in these cases, if he moves in to sort of deal with it from here, you just move it over to the other side. So that's, of course, is a good usage of the building, and of course, the cover afforded by building for a vehicle. But it's time for the mid-game analysis. What is the situation? Well, currently Mr. AirReloaded is rather with the advantage. Lots of grenadiers, lots of other tough infantry. Veteranry 2, a single pack 38, though that could easily get knocked out if he's not too careful. On the other hand, Mr. Kiraye is looking a bit worse for wear. He does have quite a bit of infantry on the field, though. but at the same time he doesn't quite have a medic station to allow him to sort of keep going in the longer run, and he's, well, sort of pushed away from the initial rather large map advantage. The Grenadiers and the Volksgrenadiers rather pushed him back due to the MG42s also being present. Some weapon support might be useful there. Besides the M8, perhaps a mortar would be nice to sort of clear up the perhaps Pack 38, or at least laying down a smoke cover, allowing for an assault. Or perhaps sort of trying to attack through here once more, doing a bit of harassment. But sadly that seems not to be in his mind as of yet. No mines either, which again isn't quite fortunate. But he needs to do something that rather forces the fight away from the Grenadiers. He needs something like a tank or perhaps a machine gun or a mortar, but he needs something. He can't just sort of stick to the current strategy of just harassing. He needs something that gives him the sort of edge. Otherwise, AirReloaded is going to grind him down. He's going to crush him beneath the weight of his more veteran Grenadiers, who are generally just better infantry than your regular riflemen. Very important thing to note. Question is, of course, how will he proceed with that? How shall he actually succeed with that? So let's return to the fight and see if he actually does so. M8 keeps firing away. Veterancy 2, in fact, actually gives it increased speed and increased penetration. That's generally the usual way American armor goes in terms of veterancy. Once more going for the strategic point, but then again, this point, if you also hold it, you can actually ignore this point. So that is in fact giving AirReloaded actually the situation, right, the advantage in that situation, and making these riflemen a bit more in trouble. And immediately taking the point back. Grenadiers firing away at the riflemen, getting quite a few kills, standing still. And the Pack 38 sneaking in on the M8. Americans moving forwards. Anti-tank guns sort of standing about. Points being retaken. A bit of urgency for some of his riflemen, but not quite a lot. And the... oh dear, the M8 could in fact be caught out there. It needs to get repaired and it needs to get away. There we go, M8 hit. Gunner killed. Run, M8, run. No, it was knocked out. A bit unfortunate there. Needed repairs. Grenades getting thrown at the riflemen. Flamethrowers charging in. Veterancy 3. Now things are really looking bad for Kiraye. Grenades getting locked out though. Oh dear, 3 Grenadiers. A Grenadier team cut down right away. Veterancy 1 for some of the riflemen. MG42 opening up. Riflemen are forced to retreat. Oh dear, Kiraye. And our Grenadiers are charging at these riflemen. Grenades getting thrown again. In this case, the riflemen avoided it. Grenadiers blow away their cover, but at the same time they leave themselves exposed to the BAR. Firing away, killing one right away. Medics pulling back the wounded. Grenadiers of the 2nd 17th SS. Grenadiers getting reinforced. So it looks like to just be one of the regular Panzergrenadier regiments of the 17th SS. The 17th SS actually didn't have any armored half-tracks. It only had some trucks, some cars, and bicycles. Yes, indeed, bicycles. Volksgrenadiers holding the line. MG42 moving in. Grenadiers pushing in the west to deal with those riflemen. Pushing the advantage in their advantage. Things in their favor. Volksgrenadiers under fire. MG42 firing away as well. Riflemen getting suppressed. Not quite that day. And again, sadly, Kiraye doesn't really seem to be looking for anything that can push the situation in his advantage. He's sort of going the same route continually, rather than throwing in something new, something a bit more heavier. Some mortars, again, I really think would do the trick, or perhaps a heavy machine gun to keep those Grenadiers suppressed, because elite armor doesn't actually provide any suppression resistance. Although Volksgrenadiers actually get a bit of suppression resistance as they gain veterancy too. And what is this? A howitzer. The Americans are going for some artillery to blow away those crowds. But currently the forces of the 17th SS are pretty much everywhere, establishing around the tight front line. Machine guns. We're at 200 points. Proving quite the threat. Riflemen forced to charge across open ground. No barbed wire sandbags to help them. No mines. Again, the American rather neglected the defensive side of the fight. Didn't really use his troops effectively again, which is a bit sad again, particularly because he was infantry doctrine. That actually gives his riflemen the ability to lay down sandbags, barbed wire, and mines. So the fact he didn't use it is just more tragic. In particular because there were several times where they're just standing about and could have been, using the time to make things a lot harder for the Wehrmacht when they attacked. But now it looks like he's moving through here, not attacking at the main point of Wehrmacht opposition, but instead going for the west. Not a bad move. Howitzer ready, although a bit close to that. Where shall he be firing? Shall he be firing at the medic bunker? Or somewhere else? Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers getting ready towards the center. Riflemen and engineers moving forwards there. Riflemen securing what they can here immediately. Sandbags being laid down there. Good show. Air reloaded, not neglecting the defensive side of things. Riflemen moving in. And of course, right away there, some cover ready for the Grenadiers. Making things that much harder for the Riflemen. Howitzer getting ready to fire. Looks like there's a nice clump there, and apparently they're retreating right away, apparently figuring that artillery is coming for them. Of course, not the worst assumption to make. I mean, if you have infantry that's rather close up and you suddenly hear the crack of artillery, then the assumption that that's probably going to be the target is not a bad one. Riflemen now being shifted away from the west to sort of move through here to sort of clear up things here. Riflemen getting suppressed though. Artillery being called in. Where? Right there in the center. Sneaky. And there we go, catching the Grenadiers out in there. And if they want to move their cover, they will have to stay within the artillery. Volksgrenadiers for the fatherland being chosen. Volksgrenadiers right in the middle of the riflemen. Cover getting blasted away. Volksgrenadiers getting gunned down, in fact. Grenades getting lobbed, but not hitting anything. Quite a bit of command points being floated by your American friend. Grenadiers moving through here in the west again, while the others are just being a nuisance. Grenades getting lobbed, and they run away. Second supply yard upgrade. Still no medic station for the Americans. I can't really help but feel that things might have been a lot different. Now we are seeing the Sturm Army for air reloaded. Riflemen coming under quite a bit of fire, getting blasted to bits, and forced to retreat.
Ready for the crowds.
Riflemen never really managing any greater kills on Tommy Gaga, I fear, unless in those cases of the Volksgrenadiers. Now the Grenadiers are pushing through in the west as in the east. And now veterancy coming up for the support units, and of course in the case of the MG42, it actually gains an accuracy increase plus a small reload decrease as well, so it actually is faster to reload, which is certainly not bad either. Second supply upgrade, so continuing. Sturm Armory ready. Apparently there we go. What shall be coming out? I don't know. Rather than getting suppressed, trying to get in there. Howitzer firing away. At where? Quite a few medics there, which of course means there's another medic bunker right nearby. Where is the howitzer firing? Right there, trying to cover a point. I can't even feel that seems a bit wasteful. Things not really looking helpful for Kiraye. Grenadiers counter-attacking, I guess, right out in the open.
We are losing a fuel point.
Grenadiers moving forwards, then backwards. Oh, so quiet. Or not. There we go. Small engagement in the favor of Kiraye. Getting the drop on these Grenadiers. A lot of automatic fire. Grenadiers forced to retreat. But the Germans simply cannot be stopped. Actually, it's time to go have a look at AirReloaded. An armored car has arrived. Kampfkraft Center getting rid of upgrades. For what? For the vehicles. Not a bad move. And there we go, moving in on the riflemen. Riflemen charging in large numbers. Engineers moving in as well. Grenadiers getting scorched. Retreating. Gone. Riflemen coming under heavy fire. Grenadiers with support from the armored car simply tearing through them. Again, I can't ever really get a feel this stage. The main problem from Kiraye is it rather only has infantry, while AirReloaded has so much else. And his artillery so far hasn't really managed a lot of hits either. Although it looks like he actually managed to hit something right there. Scoring him the first kills in the third barrage, which is generally not a good sign. Rodman coming out of quite a bit of fire, getting gunned down, artillery firing away, but now hitting absolutely nothing. Because all Wehrmacht troops have vacated the area. Anti-tank gun moving out. Rodman forced away. Another heavy armored car getting prepared from the Sturm Armory. The 17th is actually having a few of the heavy armored ones. Besides the regular ones, so that's not actually beyond their scope. Grenadiers getting gunned down, the armored car opening up with its auto cannon. We're not really hitting actually. And looks like another armored car has been made ready to challenge the Puma. Now that gets ready. No further veterancy though. Actually, I believe it's either veterancy 2 or veterancy 3. That actually gives them a damage increase, which certainly shouldn't be neglected. M8 moving forwards. Opening up on the Grenadiers. No anti-tank weapons for those. And another Grenadier team with... My bloody hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Christ.
We're losing territory.
And now a rocket barrage right there on the artillery. What's to be expected, I suppose.
Meeting heavy resistance.
Quite unfortunate for Kiraye. Armored car advancing, gunning down those Grenadiers.
We are in battle. Taking fire.
Ralphman getting shattered in the open. The M8 sort of trying to move in, be the hero. But the Pak 38 immediately puts a stop to that. Quite effectively, I might add. Ralphman getting gunned down by the Grenadiers. Not really looking good for Kiraye at all. Now his Ralphman were simply lost. Ralph engineers in the east stopped. Grenadiers charging head through the center. Rear center actually quite bombed out.
Veterans engaged.
I'd certainly say at this stage that Kiraye is beyond victory. He has pretty much lost. At this stage, utterly surrounded. Wehrmacht forces are growing stronger by the minute. And Kiraye is simply unable to really find a foothold and find any manner to really gain the edge, or at least the momentum, again once more against AirReloaded and his 17th SS Panzergrenadiers, which is rather a shame. So question becomes, what then? Good question. Of course, there might still be a sliver of hope, I suppose, but it'll speed things up a bit.
We're losing territory.
Armored cars shredding more infantry, no rangers at all for Kiraye. Grenadiers doing their best, Riflemen not quite.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
All very quiet at this stage, pretty much. I mean, there's not a lot to say. I mean, the main problems, I'd rather say for that when the game is actually over, seem to be more related to the sort of the lack of a medic station, the sort of anything that could have gotten Kiraye an edge. Grenades being knocked out the Grenadiers, doing a bit of damage, but they retreat. And this stage, I mean, there's not really going to be much you can do to really kill them unless you get something really epic, perhaps an off-map combat group. No, he doesn't quite have the command points for it, sadly. That could actually have saved him, probably, if he'd gone for that instead of that howitzer. Could have gotten some support weapons. Armored cars charging in, Veteran 2. Another rocket barrage right in the middle of everything. Oh dear, Riflemen need to get away. And Riflemen get torn apart by the heavy artillery. Tearing through the base. calling upon the heaviest of Nebelwerfers, which are rather off map, to do some damage, and damage it did do.
Taking fire!
Our enemy is
And a GG right there.
crushing them. We are losing ground.
Rather realizing all things are lost. Barely any victory points left. But Kiraye apparently does not seem keen on retreating. Rangers didn't manage much. Large Grenadier force. Stopped by the machine gun emplacement, getting pinned, but there we go. Game over. Lost for the 27th in the face of the 17th SS. Doing what it does best, killing Americans. So, what can we learn from this? I mean, this was rather by the end of games, rather well one-sided, and for that I apologize, but then again, it sort of highlights that you need something else than just riflemen. That was rather the main problem for Kiraye, just riflemen with BARs. I mean, had he gone for perhaps a machine gun or a mortar, things could have looked a lot different. I mean, he could have bombarded those MG42s from a lot safer positions. He could have dealt damage to that bunker, and that bunker was really a main priority target, but it never really became that for Kiraye, which just gave AirReloaded a lot more grenadiers, not enough artillery being focused on it. I mean, he probably could just have found a way his howitzer added until he pretty much had it knocked out, but sadly that did not happen. Yes, there were two, but still, one less is always good. And of course, either that or he should have gone for some tanks, but again, never really materialized either. And certainly he was a bit too timid with his M8 in the beginning. So no good either there. That was a bit more timidness on Kiraye's part than that was good. On the other hand, AirReloaded, good usage of barbed wire, good usage, well, not mines, there wasn't a lot of mines in this game, which was rather sad, but good use of medic bunkers, good usage of infantry and MG42s, really pushing onwards, really being aggressive, which Kiraye was in the start, but then he sort of lost steam, which was rather unfortunate for him. Momentum was lost, and that AirReloaded was quite quick to grab and then turn against him. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Bill Dancing. Cheers.